And so what are we looking at next, Matt?
We have a Foreign Extra Stout.
Foreign Extra Stout. Okay.
So Matt, you want to read this style guideline?
I'll do it. That's okay. Find the right page here.
Category 13D.
13D. Thank you.
Normal.
16. Yeah, that is it. 13D, Foreign Extra Stout. Aroma should be roasted grain with moderate to high, can have coffee, chocolate, and or lightly burnt notes. Fruitiness medium to high. Some versions may have a sweet aroma or molasses, licorice, dried fruit, and or vinous aromatics. Stronger versions can have the aroma of alcohol, but never sharp, hot, or solventy. Hop aroma low to none, diacetyl low to none. In appearance, very deep brown to black. Clarity usually obscured by deep color, if not opaque, should be clear. Pretty well runs the gamut there. Large tan to brown head with good retention. Flavor, tropical versions can be quite sweet without much roast or bitterness. Export versions can be moderately dry, reflecting an impression of a scaled-up version of either sweet stout or dry stout. Roasted grain and malt character can be moderate to high, although sharpness of dry stout will not be present in any example. Tropical versions can have high fruity esters, smooth grain, dark grain flavors, and restrained bitterness. They often have a sweet rum-like quality. Export versions tend to have lower esters, more assertive roast flavors, and higher bitterness. Roasted flavors of either version may taste of coffee, chocolate, or lightly burnt grain. Little to no hop flavor, very low to no diacetyl. Mouthfeel should be medium full to full body, often with a smooth, creamy character. May give a warming but never hot impression from alcohol presence. Moderate to moderately high carbonation. And overall impression, a very dark, moderately strong, roasty ale. Tropical varieties can be sweet, quite sweet, while export versions can be drier and fairly robust. So we've got a wide range of...
Yeah, and I really hate this category because
we can try it.
I think that they really should separate tropical and normal Foreign Extra Stout.
That hurt us last year. That was one of the brews that I judged at Blue Bonnet in the first round, and it probably kept one from pushing.
I think it's pretty drastic difference to me.
It really is. And one thing that we had was we ended up with an excessively bitter beer. And like probably to the tunes of 65 to 70 IBUs, which I believe if you look at the style guidelines is pretty close to the top end of what it's allowed. And it was a really good beer, but it was number 4 out of our top 4. And had there been 2 different guidelines, we had 2 of the tropical and we had 2 that were more Americanized or Englishized or whichever way you want to put it.
Right.
And they were good in their own right, but together they weren't.
What was the entry number on this, please, Matt?
Number 7.
7.
To me, that's very fruity.
Is it fruity?
Yeah, I get very fruity. Very fruity.
I wasn't told if it was normal or not. If it was export or tropical.
Well, and you don't even have to clarify.
Yeah, it could be all across the board.
There's not a whole lot of roast or chocolate.
Slight roast. I'm not smelling
Yeah,
chocolate.
maybe a little bit of roast.
See, even in commercial examples, it says tropical style
Yeah.
or tropical type, export type, but then in the thing, it doesn't say you have to take this.
Right.
Right.
So I hate that. I think it's stupid. It's like two styles.
It really is 2 different beers.
Right. Because to me, I had experience with a lot of tropical stouts, in the Caribbean and stuff, and wow, they are completely different than what normal. Although you will get foreign export stouts made by Guinness down there, they're different than the ones from.
Well, they're all brewed on the individual islands.
True.
Right.
It's really neat.
They're
to try
licensed,
that.
yeah.
Although I had to admit it wasn't very good in the box.
That gets a little thin sometimes.
Yeah,
See,
it
I
was
had
almost
it
sour.
in Jamaica. It wasn't very good.
Yeah.
In St. Lucia, it was phenomenal. It
Really?
was really, really good.
Huh.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
So, what do you guys get in this one? You're talking about the differences in styles. Which one does this taste like to you?
I haven't tasted it yet.
Oh, you're wasting our time.
Catch up, Brandon.
Bless you, bless you.
Excuse me. That one just got up into my
They
nose.
released Guinness Foreign Extra Stout.
I know. I've got some of that.
Because down here it says.
Me, it's really creamy.
Mhm. That's a very rich beer.
Very rich. There's no roast in it to me.
Not like a harsh. There's a little bit of a dark malt.
It's really, to me, it's just chocolatey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
To me, it's just chocolatey.
So I think
No
like
roast.
dark fruit, but not like
Mhm.
jammy fruit, but like a dark skin with the fruit.
Why isn't chocolate on the
Yeah.
sheet here? That's kind of silly.
And that's kind of why I hate this stupid sheet, because I feel like I gotta go through there and mark this stuff.
Oh, you can write whatever you
Well,
want.
normally I just like, oh, this is the way what I perceive, and that's a true judge sheet is what you're supposed to
Yeah, we
do.
can use either one.
And you don't have to use that. As a judge, you do not have to use the cheat sheet, as I call it. I mean, it's whichever one you want.
Low
I
heights.
hate writing, so I like to use that just because I hate to. My handwriting's horrible, and so it takes me 30 minutes to write a good, clean sheet that somebody can read. So to me, it's better that I go ahead and use the cheat sheet, even though it kind of handicaps you a little bit and brings you, you may not be able to be as descriptive. But
Well, you can write. I mean, there's plenty of space to write whatever.
and there's the back.
Yeah,
You can always write whatever you need to.
I don't get a whole lot of alcohol out of it.
No, I'm thinking temperature.
Yeah.
I'm thinking it might be just a little better if it wasn't quite as cold as it is.
Warm it up. Show them what you do.
Yeah.
Warm that thing up.
So when you're warming up a beer that's, especially you use these fruit glasses, you see they use their body temperature, hold the glass, keep the body temperature in there, and warm the glass up. Stir it a little bit. Motion will keep it warm. You don't want to stir it too much to where you take out all the carbonation. You'll lose some of the flavor. But that's how you bring a beer down to temperature. And this beer really should be served up to temperature. You're right. This beer really should be served kind of mid-range. 50 to 60 degrees, as opposed to some of the beers we served earlier, which should be 35 to 55 degrees.
I like to take off my pants and put it in my
Well, I'll be honest
That's
with you,
all.
on this
Go
beer
ahead.
here, I think it's a great tasting beer.
Mhm.
I don't think there's anything wrong with it. But according to the style guidelines, I don't think it quite fits.
I don't know. The problem is the guidelines are all over.
Right. Well, but I don't get any roast out of it. It's a roasted grain. And then you look there and
Yeah.
roast. Well, overall impression, a very dark, moderately strong roasty ale. I don't get any roast at all.
You don't think you're tasting roast?
Well, I get a lot of chocolate. Dark chocolate.
Smell
It says fairly robust. Now I think
It's a robust beer.
Yeah, I agree that.
I don't know. I'm tasting chocolate, but
I get roast on it.
I'm
Do you?
tasting roast.
I smell roast.
Yeah.
But you get any coffee flavor, chocolate? I get lightly burnt grain.
The roast flavor is a lot lighter than the aroma.
Right.
Large chocolate.
Personally, I think this is a pretty nice beer.
It's a real nice beer. I just don't. I have
You're
a
not-
problem with it.
you're not sure
fitting
it's
the
in there.
guidelines, Yeah. No, like I said, I think it's a great beer.
I don't think it's as roasty as it's calling for, but I do get some roast.
Yeah, I think there may be. That's what I'm just saying. I expected it when I tasted it. To me, the overwhelming flavor is chocolate.
Yeah.
So would you have a different guideline you would put that under, a different style?
Robust.
But
But it's almost too fruity for that.
Too fruity for that.
Yeah.
I mean,
don't
it's
think
a Foreign
quarter.
Extra Stout.
It is a stout.
Now, if they had these guidelines split apart,
Mm-hmm.
I think I would put it in
The
tropical for sure.
Yeah.
That's why I hate this category. That's why I don't like to judge it.
See, and they don't give a tropical footnote for their aroma.
Right.
Yeah,
So-
that's one thing that I noticed
so
when
it could be
judging
an
this. They
American
don't
stout.
say the base of the style for tropical is this.
I don't think it's roasted
end
enough
of
to
the
be
Well,
style.
see, it says
American.
tropical versions can be sweet without much roast or bitterness.
Okay.
So that's acceptable. You know, it seems
Yeah.
Right.
yeah.
Okay. See, that's what I'm saying. It's stupid. Why don't they?
Yeah, it's-
why don't they
It's
separate
one or
those?
the other, but we don't know what to do.
That's why if you have a stout that you don't know what it is, just enter it in this category. I mean, I'm serious. I've done it a million times. Not a million times.
That's a lot of time.
That is a lot of beer.
Violate your 100 gallons a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured Richard's still there.
Hasn't fallen asleep yet.
It does have that rum-like quality, a little sweetness. You know,
Pretty creamy.
I think it's a great beer. Like I said,
alcohol sweetness. I like.
so I think this is a good 30s beer. I don't know. This is going to be tough to finish out the end of
See,
it.
and what you're seeing here right now is we've got, with these guys, they've got 3 different beers right now that are hitting in the 30s. Got one more to try. It could be the best of the bunch,
Right.
and it could change everything. But right now, they're going to have to go back and retry the 3 beers that they have because they're so close to each other that you can't say which one's first, which one's second, which one's third. And it's really neat. And that's the way a lot of times this ends up is that you figure out these are the top 3. Oh, by far, these are better than the rest that are out here. But now to come up with which beer is the best of these 3, that's more difficult. And so we'll let them wrap up and figure out about where they're at. We'll let that be notes, and then we'll finish the last beer.
You guys can hang on to the sheets.
Yep.
You're thinking 30s?
These are top 3
Oh, it's definitely.
Top 3 beers, and they've kept the top 3 beers. We've talked about it before, which was the Dunkel.
No, hopefully this nice one will be gross, and then we don't have to.
Yeah, worst thing right now is that if this last beer is by far the best, hits in the 40s, and they have to kick one of these good beers out because that's what's going to happen. One of these good beers leaves, and it's really easy to choose between second and third. It's so hard to choose between third and fourth.
Where their sheets go?
Oh, we got more sheets here.
No, I had my other
You know, like that beer there, if
ones
I
I
had
had
any,
judged. I had some.
honestly, if I had any complaints about that beer,
Yeah.
the only thing I think would make it better, I mean, and I'm not saying a bunch, just a little and more roast.
So Brennan's saying he would like to see a little more roast in that beer,
But that's it.
but
I mean,
you're talking
I don't
about
want
quarter of a
overwhelm.
pound. It would be like as
Just
much.
enough
If
you
not,
get a little more coffee flavor in it.